Expanding of binomial square, exercises 10 to 13. Expand the binomials below by applying the formula for binomial square and the rows of exponents provided on the right-hand side of the screen. I'm going to use the formula a plus b squared equals to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. I'm also going to use the following rules of exponents. Power of a power. A to the power of n in parentheses to the power of m equals to a to the power of n times m. In other words, to find power of a power, we need to multiply the exponents n and m. The next rule of exponents I'm going to use is the power of a product with two factors. A, b, in parentheses to the power of n equals to a to the power of n multiplied by b to the power of n. In other words, we distribute the exponent n to each factor a and b to find this power. The next rule of exponents I'm going to use is the rule for power of a product with three factors. A, b, and c to the power of n equals to a to the power of n multiplied to b to the power of n multiplied to c to the power of n. Again, similar to the prior rule, we need to distribute the exponent n to each factor to find this power. Let's begin expanding the binomials. First binomial, x squared plus 2 in parentheses squared. As a first step, I'm going to apply the formula. In this binomial, the first term is x squared, and the second is 2. X squared corresponds to the a in the formula. The second term, 2, corresponds to the b in the formula. Therefore, if we apply the formula, this binomial equals to x squared in parentheses squared plus 2 times first term x squared multiplies by second term 2 plus second term 2 squared. X squared squared. To simplify this, we can use the rule for power of a power and multiply the exponents 2 and 2. Therefore, this equals to x to the power of 4 plus, then we have 2 times 2 x squared, or 4 times x squared plus 2 squared equals 4. Next exercise, 1 plus y squared in parentheses squared equals to 1 squared plus 2 times 1 y squared plus y squared squared. This equals to 1 plus 2y squared plus y squared squared. We multiply the exponents. This equals to y to the 4th power. Next exercise, x squared y plus 1 in parentheses squared. This equals to first term squared, or x squared y to the power of 2 plus 2 times first term x squared y multiplied by 1 plus 1 squared. This equals to, let's take a look at the first term x squared y to the power of 2. We can simplify it by using the power of a product with two factors. and distribute the exponent 2 to each factor. In other words, x squared becomes x to the power of 4, y becomes squared, plus 2 times x squared y plus 1. Next exercise, 2 plus a squared b in parentheses squared. This equals to 2 squared plus 2 times 2a squared b plus a squared b in parentheses squared. 2 squared is 4 plus 2 times 2, 4a squared b plus, again we can use the rule of exponent for power of a product with two factors and multiply the exponents. So a squared squared becomes a to the 4th power and then b squared. Next exercise, m squared plus 4n squared in parentheses squared. This equals to m squared squared plus 2 times m squared 4n squared plus 4n squared in parentheses squared. M squared squared is m to the 4th power plus 2 times 4 is 8m squared n squared. Plus then we can again distribute the exponent. It becomes 4 squared or 16, and then n squared squared is n to the power of 4. Next exercise, 2p squared plus q squared in parentheses squared. This equals to 2p squared in parentheses squared plus 2 times 2p squared multiplied by q squared plus q squared in parentheses squared. Now again we distribute the exponent using the rule of exponent for power of a product with two factors. 2 squared is 4, p squared squared is p to the power 4 plus 4 times p squared q squared plus q squared squared is q to the power 4. Next exercise, 3x squared y plus 2 in parentheses squared. This equals to 3x squared y in parentheses squared plus 2 times 3x squared y multiplied by 2 plus 2 squared. Now the first factor, 3x squared y squared, we can simplify further by using the rule of exponent for power of a product with three factors and distribute the square to each factor, 3x squared and y. So this way we get 3 squared, which is 9, x squared squared, which is x to the 4th power, then y squared, plus 2 times 3 times 2 is 12 x squared y plus 4. Next exercise, 4 plus 2xy squared in parentheses squared is equals to 4 squared plus 2 times 4 multiplied by 2xy squared plus 2xy squared in parentheses squared. This equals to 60 plus 2 times 4, 8 times 2, 16 again, xy squared plus 2 squared, which is 4, x squared, y squared squared, which is y to the 4th power. Thank you for watching and learning.